I'm going to be talking about witches today. So let's go through the list. No. Here we are. Now, the latest news from Scotland is that the government are discussing apologising to all the witches who were burnt there in the 16th, 17th and 18th centuries. But I'm getting ahead of myself now. So let's backtrack a bit. We are accustomed, are we not, to the practice of various political leaders. I'll scroll through some headlines here to illustrate. So as I said, political leaders with hands that could do with a good scrubbing have a practice of ensuring their future safety by making it impossible for them to be prosecuted for things that they did while they were in power, if they were ever careless enough to lose it. Of course, I wouldn't dream of making any accusation about Ms. Sturgeon committing such indiscretions. Well, for a start, I don't want to spend the rest of my life as a frog. But I do find it interesting that she appears to be setting in place laws that will make it difficult when the SNP loses power at the next elections, at least to prosecute her for witchcraft. Does that sound far-fetched? Well, have a listen to this. Now that was a Scottish government disability officer. Look, you know what? It could be worse. Unless that walker is a prop, at least the gentleman is actually disabled. A state which isn't so much enjoyed by the menstrual dignity officer, also recently hired by the Scottish government, who is a man. I'll take a minute or two to go into that in more detail. You might reasonably ask how the beleaguered Scottish government could afford a menstrual dignity officer, male or female, when you remember that the Scottish government is under so much financial stress. Not a day seems to pass without me hearing the sound of funding scandals slopping onto the Scottish parliamentary floor like pancakes at a Kids' Shrove Tuesday party. Mind you, at least the Scottish menstrual dignity officer is actually a man. For which relief, as Shakespeare had it, I suppose we owe them much thanks. Now, back to the witches. Scotland has always had a thing about witches, especially since the reign of James I, that is, James I of England, and the 6th of Scotland. King James of the various numbers actually wrote books on the subject, and it seems he made up for his lack of interest in women by an interest in the identifying and punishment of witches, who were mostly women. This interest, by the way, was not entirely lost on William Shakespeare, who, with his talented nose for the captivating of an audience, wrote a play all about Scottish kings and witches. This regal fixation had an effect on British law for the next 200 years or so. So Miss Sturgeon is probably being very prudent in making a big deal out of pardoning all the witches who were slaughtered in Scotland. And here we have it. Nicola Sturgeon apologises to people accused of witchcraft. It's thought that 4,000 Scots, most of them women, were accused between 1563 and 1736. The Witches of Scotland campaign has urged the government to offer a public apology, saying it would send a powerful signal. I wonder if it'd be as powerful as the light from all those bonfires. 4,000 of them. Mind you, you have to keep warm somehow, and those kilts can be terribly drafty. But to get back to the disability officer. I wonder if he will have to offer an apology. Oh no, I forgot. The guiding principle of the wokerati is that apologies are given only to those who died 200 or 300 years ago. It's much safer at that sort of a distance. I am Granniopteryx. I am to be found on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds. I am also to be found on Twitter, Gab and Parler, where I am at Granniopteryx, and if you subscribe to one of those, you'll always get notification from them, or one of them, of a new upload. Okay, please like this video, please share it, please check your subscription. As I keep saying, YouTube's a bit naughty about keeping subscriptions going. And please check and contribute to the channel. You'll see here a dancing icon for Buy Me a Coffee. All the various methods of helping me are below in the description. Yeah, well, that's it. Till next time. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the Granniopteryx design or Grambo with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.granniopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.